Okay, great. So hi again. It's wonderful to meet you. I'm Dr. LuLu Shimmick. If this is the first time we're meeting, I'm so thrilled to meet you virtually. I'm a naturopathic physician and expert in genetic health. I work with patients experiencing chronic disease, hormonal imbalance, endocrine disorders, gastrointestinal dysfunction, depression, anxiety, fatigue, and much more. I believe that once we dive deep down into the root of the problem, of the distortion, and really like ignite our body's innate ability to heal, that's when we can really see unimaginable changes in our well-being. And my passion lies in helping people discover their zest for life. That joy they've lost along the way of their illness, or maybe they're just having a downtime. They need a little restart along the way. Before starting Dr. Lu's naturopathic clinic, which is my business, I journeyed through many careers as a true Renaissance woman. I studied interior design at the University of Georgia in Athens, and I also have a doctorate from the prestigious Bastyr University in Seattle, Washington. I am an herbal formulator, and I love to work with plants. That's really my passion. And I'm the botanical director or the plant medicine director at the Veterans Healing Farm in Hendersonville, North Carolina, where I also run the community clinic there. I'm an international speaker and author, and I love spreading the message of health and really helping patients to reignite the passion of health within themselves. And I have a new book coming out. You can pre-order it now. It's called Detox, Nourish, and Activate: Plant and Vibrational Medicine for Energy, Mood, and Love. And it comes out on July the 27th, and you can check that out on my website. I also have a podcast. I'm busy, right? I have a podcast called The Genetic Genius, because that's one of my passions, is really helping educate people about genetic health and how it can help enhance and enrich their lives. And the podcast is dedicated to genomics and epigenetics and planetary alternative health, really anything out there that can help people shift their physical, mental, and spiritual health. And my new book is focusing on using botanical medicine and other natural modalities to heal the whole body by optimizing vitality, increasing well-being, and enhancing cellular performance. So I also facilitate plant ceremonies and mineral medicine connecting points around the world to elevate planetary consciousness and community. So within that, I help to teach others about herbal medicine around the world and help people connect to plants in their own community and help spread that worldwide, kind of like the worldwide plant web. As the botanical director at the Veterans Healing Farm, I then can share my expertise with the veteran community about using plants to help heal and elevate their lives, which is a big passion of mine. And I'm invigorated by traveling the world, and I'm so excited that things are starting to shift and I'll be able to travel again, because that's really my passion. I love visiting different places with my husband and eating delicious food around the world. And of course, seeing gardens. So let's see here. We're going to get started. Let me get the slideshow up and running. Okay, great. So again, this is me, Dr. LuLu. And today we're going to be talking about the season allergy relief, right? So how do we really get into the deep root cause of the allergies and really provide ourselves some relief from all of the pollen? Oops. So let's start kind of with the basics, like what are allergies? So allergies are what happens when your immune system reacts to something that's usually harmless. And those excuse me, triggers, which doctors call allergens, right, can include pollen, mold, animal dander, certain foods, or anything that can irritate your skin. So you can have a lot of different symptoms or different aspects of your body that are affected by allergens. And the body overreacts to harmless substances, right, and sees them as a thing it needs to attack against, and produces antibodies to attack the substance. And this is what causes the symptoms of the reaction. So allergies are very common. At least 1 in 5 Americans has an allergy, which is a lot, right? So what is an allergic response? So an allergic response is triggered when you encounter that, the pollen or the item that you're allergic to, you inhale it, swallow it, or it gets on your skin, right? So in your response, your body starts to make a protein called IgE or immunoglobulin E, and this grabs onto the allergen. Then you have a histamine reaction, and other chemicals get released in the blood to try to help your body to have a fight or an attack on the allergen. So what are seasonal allergies, right? So there's different types of allergies. So seasonal allergies, of course, are from fresh cut grass, blooming trees and flowers and weeds that release pollen, causing seasonal allergies in an estimated 40 million to 60 million people a year. That's a huge amount, right? Which is why the pharmaceutical industry has so many different medications to help with allergies. So allergic rhinitis is the medical term for hay fever and seasonal allergies. So that's that combination. And that doesn't occur just in the spring. It can also occur in the summer and fall. So many people almost feel like they have allergies all year round, which can be a really hard place to be. So research indicates that nearly 75% of people in the United States that suffer from seasonal allergies are allergic to ragweed. So that's a huge one. And unlike grass, trees and flowers that produce pollen in the spring and summer, pollen due to ragweed is often highest during the fall. So most people will have that fall allergy kick in, and sometimes they can associate it with something else because they're thinking it might be a cold or flu going into winter season. Isn't this picture really cool? It's like it's a little cartoonish, but it's then actual going really deep in under a microscope and seeing the pollen. I love all the little spikes and all the aspects. Okay. So what are symptoms of seasonal allergies? If you're having some seasonal allergies, you might be aware of what those symptoms are, but I kind of wanted to, freshen you up a little bit. So you've got a nasal or a skin allergy, right? So a skin allergy can be from an environmental allergy like pollen. Like for instance, your skin might be very itchy if you're exposed to a lot of pollen. So you can have itchy, watery eyes like the person in this photo here. Sneezing, of course, is very common. Itchy, runny nose, rashes. So that could be rashes anywhere in the body, a scratchy throat, feeling tired or ill. So allergies affect your adrenal glands, or if you're under adrenal stress, you can be more prone to allergies. So there's that common play back and forth. You can have hives, which is a rash with a raised red appearance, or patches. You can have mood swings. So you can have feeling really great and then you'll run into this cloud of pollen, and then you'll feel run down, and then also your mood can dip. So it's very common to have those mood swings, feelings of almost like depression. And eczema. So eczema is again a skin rash, but it's not a hive. Eczema is more like a dry skin rash, and it can be on the hands and the feet or the elbows or the arms, not like psoriasis. It's not really patchy. So what are the underlying causes of seasonal allergies? So you can see in this picture here, we have our problem, right? So we have all these different causes in the bottom of our tree. This is our kind of like our symptom tree. At the top, we're having all the symptoms, but we really want to get down to the root, right? Those root cause, all those roots coming off about what's going on. So asthma can be, of course, a trigger and cause of seasonal allergies, as well as unmanaged stress. A deviated septum, whether it's been surgically corrected or not, you can still have allergies. Nasal polyps, recent trauma or illness, so that you're really fatigued from that chronic illness. So this is one of the reasons I wanted to have this free webinar, is because a lot of people have been stressed with COVID over the past 12 to 15 months. And as we're moving into this kind of like resurgence, we're all moving back kind of a little bit at a time into society, but we still have this chronic stress. So allergy season I think is going to be a lot higher. And even food allergies, which can be correlated to environmental, when you have both, they can put you at a heightened risk, because these conditions then adversely affect your immune system, right? They deplete your immune system. So let's talk about natural solutions for preventing seasonal allergies. That's like our real kind of kick today. And I put this picture in there because, just kind of seeing like different foods that can affect allergies, right? We can see wheat, we can see avocado here, and egg. We're going to talk about some of those a little bit. So what are common foods to avoid? So these are triggers that can cause an inflammatory reaction in your system. So conventional dairy, sugar, artificial sweeteners, processed foods, wheat, alcohol, chocolate, and citrus. Now, I find citrus really interesting because people think, oh, I want to have more citrus because it has high vitamin C and it will help my immune system. This is true, but citrus can also cause a lot of inflammation, especially if you have an allergy, but also it can inflame the nasal passages and the throat and the digestive system if you're having too much or your body's not used to it. So you want to use caution there. So what foods can help prevent allergies? So we have raw local honey. Now, raw local honey is just a real great one around where we live here in Asheville, North Carolina. I love to go get raw honey either from a local store or at a place that has bees on their property. And local honey works to relieve symptoms because it contains local pollen, right? You might have heard of having bee pollen or ingesting local honey. And a couple of tablespoons, which is a lot, it's a lot of sugar. So if you're having some problems with blood sugar, this is not one of your go-tos here. But a couple of tablespoons each day can relieve itchy eyes, congestion, and the general symptoms of hay fever. So this is a really great one to bring in. And you don't have to have those 3 tablespoons all at once, but you could have them throughout the day. Hot and spicy foods. So of course, these are going to increase your circulation, really get things blowing, blowing out your nose, right? Really start to get the nose running. And if you're battling with excessive mucus, heat things up by eating hot, spicy foods. If you have digestive issues for spicy foods, this is not one to bring in for you. Hot, spicy foods help to thin the mucus and allow it to be more easily expressed, right? So you can also try adding garlic, onion, ginger, cinnamon, and cayenne pepper to any of your recipes. So that's a spicy. So, if you're not really prone to super spicy, maybe you just add a little ginger, a little cinnamon, and that will help spice things up. So bone broth. Bone broth is a really great one to bring in. I made a huge batch of bone broth over the weekend, and because my allergies are starting to kick in, I'm really starting to tune into all the things my body needs to help have a prime environment for my immune system. So you can have chicken, beef, or lamb, and that helps to ease the respiratory problems. It helps kind of like coat and soothe things. It helps to expel excess nasal mucus. So that's really important. So, if you have that hot soup, your nose will start to run. It also helps to reduce inflammation by the body and boosts the immune system. Probiotics in foods. So probiotic rich foods. So here's a picture here. You can see these are some of our probiotic foods. We have beets and carrots. And there's also prebiotic foods, and those are a lot of their root vegetables. So these would be fermented in their probiotic nature. So probiotic rich foods support a stronger immune system, improve digestion, increase energy levels, and so much more. So probiotic foods to eat during allergy season include kefir, sauerkraut or kimchi, kombucha, yogurt, and raw cheese. So some of those really good ones to bring in to really help your body to have that rich probiotic food. And if you're experiencing excessive mucus production, consuming raw organic dairy products is really good because the pasteurization process destroys the enzymes. So we need to have the enzymes in our system to be able to help everything digest from the mouth all the way through our digestive system. So those are really destroyed when something is pasteurized and doesn't help us to have the rich enzymes in the food. So apple cider vinegar. This is just a picture of Bragg's apple cider vinegar here. I'm not necessarily promoting, even though I do really like this brand, but you can purchase any type of apple cider vinegar at your store, but just make sure you're getting something organic, raw, and unfiltered. So that's really key because apples, if you get unorganic, they're going to be sprayed with toxins and you don't want that in your system. So apple cider vinegar, or ACV, helps to boost the immune system because it helps break up mucus and supports lymphatic drainage. Because lymphatic drainage is so key for our immune system. We really want to help that lymph system to drain and help to boost the immune system. So you can have about 3 times a day. You can mix 1 tablespoon with an apple cider vinegar with 1 tablespoon of fresh squeezed lemon juice and a half a tablespoon of local raw honey. And you can add water to that if you want to dilute it. I'll put it in a little shot glass and I just do a little shot in the morning. It's a nice little treat. So vegetables are of course wonderful for helping us prevent allergies. So fresh organic vegetables, including Swiss chard, which is high in quercetin. Quercetin helps our body is a natural antihistamine. Cabbage, beets, carrots, and yams. These can also help fight seasonal allergies as well. So you want to really choose vegetables that are dark green, yellow, or orange for best nutrient density during allergy season. And these are really the vegetables that are really coming into play right now. You know, carrots are coming in. We got all of our leafy greens. So when you're going to the store, making sure you're keeping those colors in mind: green, yellow, and orange. And yellow, the squash is all coming in now too. So essential oils for allergies, you know, there are so many essential oils that are great for allergies. So I just kind of picked a few, but there's many, many more in this category. So the next type of now natural remedy to consider for allergies is in your essential oils. And if you don't know a lot about essential oils, it's really fun to learn, and we're going to touch a little bit today. So, essential oils are pure oils extracted directly from the petals, stems, and leaves of herbs, plants, and flowers. And these pure oils are high in concentration. So, you know, it takes a massive amount of these little flowers to just make you with that little jar on the screen there. And they provide a lot of amazing health benefits, and including your skin and your immune system. You know, I always think the skin is our biggest organ. So when we're thinking about using essential oils, we're using them topically, it's going straight into the system. And then it helps benefit our immune system, and especially when it comes to the respiratory system and allergies. So the first one is lavender. This one is really common. Most people know about lavender because it's been studied extensively and it has many, many wide range of uses. So the wonderful oil of lavender is extracted directly from the petals, the stems, and the leaves of the herb, plant, and flower. And it's really great for many, many different uses. I'm going to go to the next slide here. So, you know, when you think about lavender, it's often what you think about when you think about oils, right? You think about, oh, I know lavender essential oil. I know it's been used for relaxation, but it's a really versatile oil. It helps with everything, including headaches, anxiety, and insomnia. It's an antibacterial, antiviral. So it's really great for the immune system. It's also really good for skin, often used for burns and skin irritation. This is how it was first discovered. And it's also great for anti-aging. So many benefits. And lavender essential oil can relax and de-stress your immune system. So that's where the relaxation part comes in. It helps reduce irritation and inflammation and has antioxidants to help fight free radicals. Really important our body needs when it's fighting off allergens. And try combining it with a carrier oil or use as a natural skincare product with like a lavender mask or a night cream. And that's a great way to help you relax and de-stress. So some of the benefits here: it can soothe skin irritation. So if you have a rash from an environmental allergy, let's say, you know, when you're exposed to pollen, it causes you to break out, lavender is a great go-to. Taken internally, lavender reduces anxious feelings and promotes peaceful sleep. Now there's an asterisk here. Make sure if you're using a essential oil internally, you're using a very, 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 very small amount, or you're putting it inside to a gel cap, or purchasing it already in a gel capsule, because some essential oils can be very toxic when taken internally. And of course, it's good for its relaxing aroma. So Roman chamomile, I just love this little flower. We grow it at the farm as well as lavender. And this essential oil brings a sense of calm to anyone going through a period of intense fear, loneliness, or is challenged by post-traumatic shock or anxiety. So I brought this oil in because this is a key part of stress. And stress, like I've been saying, is part of our body's response and why we can have more response to allergens during this key time. We've had a lot of extra stress during COVID. And so this oil is a great one to bring in to help your body to relax. It also releases stress from the emotional, mental, and physical body, and it helps soothe wounds, right? So in the emotional and physical wound. It also encourages spiritual peace, acceptance, and love to the self. It relieves feelings of grief or shock while encouraging receptivity and intuition. So, some benefits of Roman chamomile. The essential oil has been used throughout history for many, many purposes. It's been around for a really long time. It's most effective for skin, so you can use it for skin rashes, nervous system, so helping to relax the sympathetic nervous system and put you into a state of parasympathetic, which is resting and digesting. It's also used to promote peace and calm and restful sleep, so you can use it in a bath or use it in a diffuser. You can add a very small amount of essential oil with coconut oil or lotion for skin benefits. You can diffuse a few drops of Roman chamomile essential oil to the bottom of your feet at bedtime. And you can also add 1 to 2 drops of Roman chamomile essential oil to hot drinks or herbal teas to soothe the body and mind. Just again, know again if you're going to be adding it internally that you're checking, like I mentioned before. Eucalyptus. This one is really well known for the respiratory system. I love this picture. Those beautiful leaves. I used to live in California. I just loved having all the eucalyptus around me. These are really tall trees. They're evergreens that grow up to 50 feet in height. So they're super huge. They're also sometimes called the gum tree. You might hear them called that. And the main chemical component of Eucalyptus radiata, so that's this one here, are eucalyptol and a terpenol. So those are the properties that make that kind of like really respiratory aspect of this plant, making it ideal for clear breathing and opening up the airways. So this is really great for having like for a massage or having a diffuser. I love to use eucalyptus in the morning in my diffuser if I'm having like a morning stuffiness, especially adding tea tree, which we're going to talk about, and peppermint. It's a great combo for breathing. Eucalyptus has purifying properties that can be beneficial for skin and for cleansing surfaces. So, a great one for making your natural own cleaner. So, some of the benefits, you can combine it with lemon and peppermint. Use it in a spray bottle, again, to wipe down surfaces. You can add 1 drop. So this is a strong one. You don't want to use a lot of eucalyptus, and most oils in general you don't want to use a lot of. They're really strong and potent. But you can add 1 drop for skin revitalizing benefits or rubbing on the chest as a nice compress. You can use it in the shower, like as a steam, place a few drops in the hands and place over the nose and inhale deeply to invigorate and promote vitality. So there's really great uses for eucalyptus. So Melaleuca, look at this beautiful picture here. Melaleuca is most commonly known as tea tree. And this essential oil has over 92 different compounds. That's what I love about plants in general, about plant medicines. It's just not one thing. They're very, very varied. Melaleuca is best known for its purifying the skin and the nails and a healthy complexion. And we use in a diffuser or topically, it promotes immune function. So it's also really a great antifungal and antiviral and antibacterial, really great for skin and acne. Benefits and uses. So for occasional skin irritations, apply 1 to 2 drops of Melaleuca essential oil onto the affected area. So for acne, I'll using a Q-tip or a cotton ball and applying it to the areas and combining it with lavender. That's a great one, a 1-to-1 ratio, really good for preventing or helping with acne. Adding 1 to 2 drops to water or citrus drinks or veggie caps to support healthy immune system. And again, remember, if you're taking it internally, make sure to check on that oil. You can also add a few drops to a spray bottle with water and use on surfaces as a cleansing agent and put into your diffuser. And it's a roll-on. I'll use it a lot when I'm traveling as a roll-on to help me to breathe and to really help as a great antiviral and antibacterial. So peppermint is frequently used in toothpaste and chewing gum for oral hygiene. You guys all know peppermint. And peppermint also helps alleviate stomach upset and promotes healthy respiratory function. So it's a really great one to bring into if you're going to make your own blend or just put into a diffuser by itself. So I should clarify what a diffuser is in case you're not familiar with that term. A diffuser is a unit where it usually has water. You add the drops of the essential oil and then it diffuses it into the air and creates this aromatic environment. So it's really great in many different uses, whether you want it for relaxation or breathing or sleep or immune function, clearing the air and purifying the air. You can use a diffuser in many, many ways. Many benefits and uses of peppermint. So when ingested, it promotes a healthy respiratory system and clear breathing, right? When you just feel invigorated when you smell peppermint. So again, I like comboing it with other oils, like I mentioned, eucalyptus and tea tree. That's a really good combo. It promotes healthy digestion when taken internally, and it also is a great bug repellent. So it's wonderful to put around your house in pots. I wouldn't necessarily recommend putting it in the ground. It will take over, but having a nice pot next to some citronella is a great natural bug repellent. So let's talk about herbs for allergies. So these are medicinal plants that we're going to be using to address seasonal allergy symptoms. And of course, talking about the root cause of allergy, like we mentioned earlier, there are a lot of different things. So I put some herbs in here, but there are many, many, many herbs we can use depending on what the symptoms are. So now that you've learned about foods and essential oils, we can really dive deep into herbs. So herbs are often used for natural health remedies and especially the immune system. We use them many, many different herbs for the immune system, ranging from to elderberry to mushrooms. We have lots of different herbs that we can use. And you can boost your immune system and provide natural relief by using these 4 amazing herbs. So stinging nettle, this is a spring plant. It's out right now. It's blooming. Now, if you harvest it, you want to make sure that you're using gloves because it stings. It will sting you, but it's great. You can just harvest it, and I like to put it fresh right into a soup. Really good way to make a stinging nettle soup. You get those nutrients, and it will help with your allergies. You can also buy it capsulated, and that's another way. So stinging nettle contains an antihistamine and anti-inflammatory property. So it's a natural antihistamine. Wonderful plant, and people rave about its properties. And it helps to reduce the body's production of the symptoms causing the histamine reaction. So if you're taking lithium, sedatives, or Coumadin, or medications for diabetes or high blood pressure, you want to be aware that stinging nettle can cause adverse reaction with these medications. And with anything you're going to start in a new protocol, you always want to check with your physician first in case there's some contraindication about what you might be thinking about. So butterbur, I love butterbur. And this is a picture here. Those leaves look really small, but they're actually really big. I think about maybe 2 to 3 hand sizes there. It's a beautiful plant. This shrub grows in the marshes of North America, Europe, and Asia. And people have used it traditionally for treatment of pain, headaches, fevers, and digestive ailments. It's really great for headaches due to seasonal allergies. This is one of my go-to. More recently, it's also been used for urinary tract infections, headaches, including migraines, as well as for the treatment of hay fever. So butterbur has also been the object of a scientific study with promising results. So one such study found that this herb works similarly to Zyrtec, a prescription allergy medication. So butterbur contains extracts from the root, rhizome, or leaf. So you want to make sure if you're purchasing it that it has those 3 parts. And you should not use this herb in its raw form since it contains certain alkaloids or PAs that are harmful to humans. So you really want to make sure that you're not just eating this plant raw. So ginger, love ginger. Look at that beautiful picture. Ginger is safe and highly effective. It's a well-known, we use it in the culinary uses. It's used all over. Apart from its culinary uses, it's very, very beneficial to health. It soothes the digestive system and improves circulation. So really good to get that venous system, the arterial system, and the lymphatic system going to really help your body to process the allergens through the liver and out of the system. So ginger works as a natural antihistamine, potent antiviral agent, and immune booster. You can try some ginger tea to alleviate nasal congestion, really get things opened up within the sinuses and prevent headaches. And while you sip your tea, you can inhale the steam, right, coming out of your cup so that way it goes right down through the lungs. And you can find ginger commercially in fresh and dried form. You can also pair it with other herbs such as turmeric, which is another anti-inflammatory. I love making a ginger turmeric tea when I'm wanting to really boost my immune system. Yarrow. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't change the picture on this one. That picture is not yarrow. Yarrow is a beautiful green plant. You might know that one. Yarrow is a perennial herb native to the British Isles, but also common throughout Europe and Asia, and we have it all over here. This multi-purpose herb is an antiseptic, stomachic, antispasmodic, astringent, and diaphoretic. So it has really, really many uses for the digestive system. It also helps spasming with cough, and it helps to release through sweating and through the urinary system toxins. It's used traditionally to treat colds and the flu and fever. So it makes us sweat. That's the diaphoretic property. It can be also be used as an anti-allergy herb for allergic rhinitis, right? For hay fever. And its antimicrobial and anti-catarrhal actions make it an ideal herb for the respiratory system. So this is a really great one to bring in. And it's a natural healer treating sinusitis and dust allergies. You can take yarrow in a tea form or a tincture. I usually don't recommend taking it for more than 2 weeks at a time, letting your body have a break and then bringing on another herb. And if you need more information about herbs and essential oils and how to purchase them, you can also visit my website in the dispensary, and I have a lot more information about essential oils there. Okay, let's talk about supplements for allergies. So quercetin, which I mentioned earlier, so that we're going to talk about all of these vitamins here and nutrients. These are a brief rundown of vitamins. Of course, like I said, it depends on what the root cause is and which aspect you're needing to bring into the system. So research shows that quercetin, that's the flavonoid that gives fruits and vegetables that rich color. It stops the production and release histamine, right? So we're having that histamine reaction. We've been exposed to pollens around us, and we need to have that stop and histamine reaction so we don't go further down the road of more symptoms. So please note that quercetin can interfere with certain medications, including antibiotics, cyclosporine, and other medications changed by the liver. So make sure you're checking with your provider there. And I recommend doing about 1,000 milligrams per day to really help your body for that histamine effect. Probiotics. So you might be familiar with probiotics. They are fabulous. I highly recommend them, especially because we're talking about we want to charge the immune system of our gut, the GALT, and that is the gastrointestinal lymph system or immune system of the gut. So probiotics modify the flora of our gut, that good bacteria. They help boost the immune system. Plus, they show promise in the treatment and prevention of allergies. So really key. And during allergy season, if you're having a lot of reaction, you really want to do a high dosage here. 50 billion IUs, which is about 2 6 capsules per day, or you can purchase one with a higher percentage. And just message me if you need help with that, or you can look at my portal in the online dispensary. Make sure, I always recommend, a couple things about probiotics, making sure you're getting one that's been refrigerated. This is a live probiotic. It's a live flora. You want to have it stay alive in its process. So look for one that's been refrigerated. Like if you're looking for one at the health food store, don't buy one that hasn't been refrigerated. You can also get probiotics from different means, like I mentioned earlier, from foods. Now, vitamin is great for the immune system. It boosts the immune system, it fights inflammation, and has antihistamine properties. And also, it is a high antioxidant. It's one of our ACEs, A, C, E, selenium, and zinc. Those are our high antioxidants that fight off free radicals, and vitamin A is one of those. So 2,000 micrograms per day is a great booster during immune system or during allergy season. Okay, bromelain. So bromelain is an enzyme in pineapple that helps to reduce swelling in the nose and sinuses and helps to relieve hay fever symptoms. So you could have it as a supplement, but of course you can get all these things from food. So eating more pineapple daily, or having it in smoothies or freezing it, whatever, but you can also take it as a supplement. And about 1,000 milligrams per day is a recommended dosage there. Zinc. So zinc helps to heal adrenal fatigue. So I talked about that earlier, having that stress component, which can then charge your reaction to seasonal allergies. Stress worsens the symptoms. So maybe, you usually don't have much of an effect from pollen, but you're like, oh, wow, this year it's really bothering me. Maybe you've had more stress. So I recommend about 30 milligrams per day of zinc. And I really like either the chewable form or the liquid form, really go straight into the cells. I don't really think the capsule forms are best use for zinc. So vitamin C, so you want to really get as much vitamin C into your body as you can to protect your cells from stress and to help the skin fight off free radicals. So to get vitamin C, you can look for citrus fruits, but remember, sometimes those can be foods you want to avoid if you have a reaction to citrus. But you could also do veggies like bell peppers and broccoli. And if you're going to take it as a supplement, 1,000 to 2,000 milligrams per day. Now, with vitamin C, it can cause loose stools. So if you're prone to loose stools, just be aware if you're increasing that amount. Okay, let's talk about some lifestyle changes for allergies. So these are simple things you can bring in to really help with your daily activities to fight off allergens. So one, stay hydrated. This is key. So staying hydrated, drinking at least 8 to 10 glasses of fresh water every day. And if you get dehydrated, any mucus that you're trying to expel, either from the lungs or the nasal passages, it will get stuck, right? It gets thick. So we really want to stay hydrated to thin it out and expel it. Limit exposure on high pollen count days. So really start, if you're really prone to allergies, watching the news or having an app where you can see the pollen count and then limiting your exposure outside or wearing a mask. Or if it's a really dusty or windy day, limit exposure. For me, I know that if the pollen is really high and it's windy, I really avoid going outside because my whole face becomes inflamed. Shower before bed. So make sure your rent's off because you'll have pollen on your skin that is not visible to the naked eye. Pollen and dust left on the skin and in your hair overnight can then make your symptoms worse because you're sleeping in like a bed of pollen. Wash your clothes and bedding frequently. Fresh laundered bedding and clothes helps to reduce incidental exposure to allergens. So wipe down pets. Pets spend time outdoors and come in covered in pollen. And I recommend, if you have a dog, just wiping them out before you bring them, or cat, bring them in before you come indoors. This will really help. Replace carpeted areas with hard surface flooring if possible. Carpet attracts and keeps dust and pollen. That's really difficult to remove with vacuum. Side note there, if you're really having some carpet issues, a HEPA filter in your house can really help. So declutter. Clutter can really cause dust and allergens, which make your symptoms really worse. So remove clutter, especially from your bedroom, for the best results. So keeping things really clean and free so the pollen doesn't have a place to settle, and also the energy can move around. And then keep the doors and windows closed, right? Because that pollen is going to come straight in. And especially when the pollen count is really high and on those windy, dusty days, keep your doors and windows closed to limit exposure. So thank you. This has been great. I love talking to all of you about one of my favorite subjects, allergy, and how to bring in natural remedies to prevent allergies and help with hay fever. So if you're ready to really take your health to the next level, a bonus to all attendees receive $50 off your first initial visit with me. And you can use coupon allergy50 when booking, and that expires May 17th for the booking, but then you can book the appointment later out. So you can book on my website at www.doclulu.com. Super easy. Make sure you're following me on Instagram to learn more about health tips, recipes, free webinars, programs, and much more that I'm offering back to the community. And stay tuned for more of my upcoming programs, hormonal health programs or women's health in summer of 2021, and gut restoration starting in fall of 2021. So again, thank you so much.